Okay, welcome to the stability and mobility section of your program. We've been doing this now for a considerable amount of time, and what I always say, and I'll keep saying, is that stability and mobility coexist within the sport, so you can't have one without the other, and how they interact with each other is really the critical factor of success in movement. So we'll break down into mobility and stability based exercise, but as we know, they coexist, but the emphasis is on stability on the first three exercises, and then the mobility on the last three. And as we've said before, is you select what you're the driver here, you're the pilot in your program, so you decide the journey and make sure that you select the exercises that are going to best benefit you. If you're happy to do both, absolutely fine, but there will be some of you that are need more mobility, and some of you need more stability. Okay, the first one is stability exercise. So we're going to the focus here is on the transverse plane, so the rotational plane. So you're just going to take a step back at 45 degrees, so it's really rotational, and you're going to stick that landing. Okay, and I'll challenge you to jump as far back as you possibly can and up as high as you possibly can, because that changes the amount of force that I have to absorb in that plane. So you're going to go left and right. You're going to go 3 on your left. So it says 6 reps on the program, but that means 3 left and 3 right. Good, and then stabilize. Don't worry too much about the noise and all that. This isn't the part. This is the stability part is the most important part. So when you jump back, how quickly do you stabilize yourself, right? And remember, stability and balance isn't the same as stillness. So when I see people go, I don't move, that doesn't mean you great balance. The balance is going out of range and maybe it'll come back into range. That's what stability and that's what balance is. It's not being still as possible, because the game isn't still. Okay, good. And then we go on to so we do the same thing now, we just add a bit of a layer to it. We rotate. And then once we rotate, we reach out at 45 degrees, touching our toe, and then reaching back 45 degrees behind you, touching our toe also. Yeah. So same thing, jump and stick, and then you add in this rotation. Okay, so come back, go the other side, jumping the other side, reaching 45 degrees out with your toe, perfect. And then behind you, 45 degrees touch on your toe. Good. Now what's important here as well is the mechanics. I always talk about this is, imagine when you stabilize yourself, you're on a rock with water all around you, making a ripple on the floor, on the water. You're not putting your foot through the water. So when you step through here, I don't really want all now. So now all my force or all my weight is on this foot. I want my weight and my control still to be on the left hip as I'm reaching. I don't really want to put force down through the floor. It's just an important point there when you're doing it. Do one more rep on each side. Jumping back, reaching 45 degree touch, perfect. Touch to the side, good, and you're working that range all the time. Now, if you're very clever and you see what's actually happening, the amount of stress and joint activity going through the ankle and the hip and the knee is really, really important. That's what makes the exercises beneficial to your game. Good. Yep, good stuff. Okay. Now we're going to stay where we are, but this time we're going to reach overhead. Now it's important here, so put the foot forward. So the foot, I don't want it to be externally rotated or internally rotated. Make sure it's forward and in a line. Use the line here. You're going to reach at 45 degrees, but putting your hand up. Hand up and reach. There's a reason for the hand up. It's actually taking the glute out of the movement, which makes it more harder for the exercise to happen. If you put your hands lower or across your body, you'll find that stability coming. So you need to put your hands over your head all the way through this motion. And then come back. You can see here a little bit of weight's gone onto that foot. Don't want to see that. Touch and then come back. Now, second thing here is go again. That's Andrew on that one. Rotate with the movement. Look where I'm going. Almost your head is a driver in this as well, not just your foot. So I want you to rotate. What that'll change is the mechanics of the stabilizing foot, which is actually going into knee valgus. But we want to see that because we want to train ourselves to get in and get out of it. One of the issues that we have with knee valgus is our ability to come out of it. It's okay going in. It's a natural mechanics that has to happen. It's can we come out of it? Okay, into mobility now. So going to a kneeling. So using the mat, a little bit hard surface to make sure it's a soft surface on the bottom. Get into your kneeling position. So, yep, and get into kneeling. And then, so from here, starting position, step back, hands overhead, and you're going to sit into it as much as you can. Okay? So, yeah, and just, so bend the knee, bend the knee, bend the knee, and then sit into it. Yeah, make sure the knee's bent and sit into it. Perfect. Yep. Good. Try the other side. Yeah. Now, so even step back even further. Yeah, and then sit into it. Now, actually there's really good range going on here. Very, very good range going on here. but you might find at home not the same level. And it's important to recognize that 1 or 2 degrees of motion better in the hip in this position is far better than just creating loads of range somewhere else. So I think we're all good at the hip anterior hip one. You kind of get good range. You feel like my hips are loose, and you go here and go, oh no, can't do that. Trying that and getting into a little bit of range here will actually benefit your game more than you think. So don't be afraid at home if you're getting 1 or 2 degrees of motion and thinking, I can't do this exercise. You're actually benefiting yourself quite a lot by doing that. Okay, and then stand up again, and we're going to go into a static lunge. The same principle applies now, creating an L with your feet, hands over your head, and you're sitting into the motion again. Same thing. So static, yeah, and then sit into it, hands over head, sit into that motion, and then rotate your body also if you can't. That's very good. Yeah, range I'll never have. Good, and then rotate. So if you can do this at home, you're not normal. Oh, this is excessive range. This is very good. So this is a very good example of good range, but you saw me doing it. So if you can get better at this exercise, it's going to benefit you. Okay, very good, Sandra. Very good. We'll take this away now because this is a little bit slippy and this is a bit more dynamic for you. So you're going to take a step back, do the same thing again, but get into the lunge. So you're going to step back, this time hands across your chest because it is a bit more challenging. Sit in and then rotate. So you rotate into the leg. So here, sit down, rotate into it, and then come out of it. Stepping, sitting in, and then rotating. Yep, good. And then back. Change sides, sitting in, and then rotating. Good. That's it. Do your exercises, feel your way through it, see what's good for you, see what's bad for you, see what range you need. If I was looking at Sandra, mobility is fantastic. Mobility is there, great range, and transverse plane. What she needs more work on is more stability exercises. If you can kind of see where I'm going with this. So me, I need a bit of both. But some of you at home may need a bit of more, some of you may need more mobility. So you're fine stabilizing yourself, you just lack the range. So kind of, hopefully that explains what I said at the start. Have a go off it, trial it yourself. You've got another 6 exercises to try. Hope you enjoy them and see you again soon.